what's on your mind?
Oh, that's right. Don't ever stop. We're right here at WCRS Radio this morning, and we have the one and only Lieutenant Governor for the great state of South Carolina, Pamela Evette, in the hunt for the governor's neck to be our next governor right here in South Carolina. How are you doing, Lieutenant Governor?
I am doing great, Ann. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We are so glad to have you on the line with us. I guess you've been everywhere, right? You've been still moving around that state, right?
I am. I have been all over, and great things happening. I was in Spartanburg the other day for a luncheon about the Charles Lee Center. What an amazing facility that helps mentally disabled individuals find purpose and meaning, and they do a lot with skills development, and it was their 60th anniversary. I was so honored to be there and give a few words, and then was over at Carolina Pregnancy Center and seeing what they're doing to kind of ask for more donations when it comes to formula, because they know that our pantries and our soup kitchens are going to now be stressed with the fact that the Democrats don't want to get back to work, and we're seeing SNAP benefits halted. So they are, just like always, Ann, our non-for-profits stepping up and stepping out to fill in the gap when we have issues at the government level. And so just wanted to thank them personally for all they do for children and moms in need, and show up and see their new beautiful facility. And that's just part of my day.
Well, that's true. I know you are very, 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 very busy, and we sure appreciate you taking time. Pam, I've been a little perplexed. Some states have gone ahead and used their excesses, overages in their budget to help fund the SNAP benefits, and we have declined that. We are going with the 1SC fund. But it's really going to be difficult for the amount of food to come in to feed all the people that are in need of food. How do you stand on that issue?
So, the 1SC fund was developed to help South Carolinians initially during times of disaster. And I think you and I talked about it a little over a year ago when Hurricane Helene hit. The 1SC fund was taking funds. This is all it goes for, is to help South Carolinians during times of disaster. And the fact that our government has been shut down this long, what most could claim is a disaster.
Exactly.
So what they are doing is putting their money. We know that amazing organizations like Harvest for Hope are going to feel the stress points of this. And so they will be helping fill up their shelves. The governor calling out the SC State Guard to help maintain control around food pantries, getting people in and out, directing traffic, things like that. And so that's how we're coping with it here in South Carolina. So I feel like our non-for-profits have really stepped up to fill the gap.
Right, but I was just looking up, and it's raised about $230,000. And that's, of course, giving out to the regional food banks. But it's a $100 million investment. And one of the things that I found out that I was not aware of, that SNAP can actually pay based on what you are qualified as. For example, if you're a woman with small children, disability, seniors, you cannot pay, for example, the people that what they call I think they call them AWOBs or something, able-bodied but still on getting SNAP. I'm just curious. In Louisiana, that's what they did. They did not pay everybody, but they paid those that it was really a need. And I just wonder why we're not doing that, since we have had such great years and such good overages in our budgets.
Well, Ann, I think what we're doing is what we've always done here in our state. We're taking it step by step. So as we see, if we see that the SC1 fund is not filling the gaps that we need, and we see people suffering, then we'll go on to the next step. But it is a process, and we will kind of see how it plays out. What my hope is that people will start reaching out, and especially to our Democrat senators. We don't have any here in South Carolina, but we're not the only one feeling this stress point. And people have got to start reaching out to them and saying, listen, you have passed these clean CRs for forever. And now all of a sudden you want to draw a line in the sand with people's lives. You know, we saw today that Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy is saying that 10% of flights are now going to be canceled. You know, no South Carolina airports have been impacted, but every place we connect to
right.
practically has been. And so it is going to affect South Carolinians. And we want to make sure, you know, I think this is going to get people even more energized to put some pressure on the Democrats to pass what they've always passed and get back to work and do their job, because that's what they need to be doing.
Well, absolutely. And what did you think of the shellacking that the Republicans took on Tuesday in the elections?
So, Ann, I am. My heart is broke that New York would decide to elect a socialist, basically communist, to run their city. I was saddened by that, but polling was showing all down the line in a 3-man race he was going to win. And so I wasn't shocked by the fact. But I will tell you what really shocked me is that the people of Virginia could actually turn a blind eye to electing an attorney general who actually was, outwardly saying he would like to see the assassination of a political opponent's children.
Right.
I mean, that on any level, I mean, what a stain on the Democrat Party that nobody would call him out just to win, and that people could actually put, you almost want to have what my mom would call a shame on you moment. Like, shame on you for electing somebody with actually no moral fiber, that they could actually say this and not blink an eye.
I have something to play for you. Hold on. Well, maybe is it?
Well, that's what every Republican should have said. And maybe shame needs to be brought back into the equation in society, because we've seemed to gotten away from it. And I think it's a powerful thing, and I can tell you that if my parents yelled at me for something, I was like, okay. But if they said, I am ashamed, I mean, it was like a knife right through your heart. And maybe that's what we need to bring back is a little bit of shame, where, you know, when somebody says, like, this is outrageous, and how could you morally do this? Like, how can you think this is okay? And as you can tell, I'm almost speechless by how that occurred. And, you know, Jack Ciattarelli, New Jersey has been blue. And let's face it, Republicans have moved out of those states. Republicans have moved out of New York in record numbers. Republicans have moved out of New Jersey in record numbers. I mean, you hear the reports. I mean, Fifth Avenue, places are for sale like they've never seen before.
Right, I know.
Because nobody's going to stay. So when the Republicans leave and all you have left are the Democrats, they're going to continue to win these seats. So I don't know if it's a referendum that, of what's to come in the midterm. I think President Trump, the Speaker of the House, Representative Scalise were spot on when they said yesterday, Republicans, get your act together, stop fighting each other, and start talking about what we're doing. And Ann, you and I have been saying that forever. I mean, stop fighting each other, start talking about what this Congress, this Republican-led Congress, and this Republican-led White House has done in the short 10 months they've been into play. Talk about the border. Talk about the impact on the tariffs have had about creating stability to American businesses, American workers. not allowing the world to take advantage of them.
Well,
I mean, let's talk about that.
Well, I think a good point that was made is that the Democrats ran on affordability. And that is something that the Republicans do need to address, because there are people that are hurting out there. Whether we've got a shutdown or not, there are people out there that are hurting. And they've got to start moving that needle with the pricing down in order to succeed in the next term.
And, when most people, if you calmly look at it, realize that in 10 months, it's really hard to see the trickle-down effect into people's homes. And so that has to be the message, too. Look at what we've accomplished. You're going to see this, helping and affecting you over the next year, because it takes a while for that effect to happen. I mean, we just passed the One Big Beautiful Bill. Everybody's talking about rural health care. There is relief in there for rural health care, but it hasn't even gone into play, right? Money hasn't even gotten to the states yet. We have to be more intentional about our message. And I think that is what I heard, at least that's what I heard in the messaging coming from the president, coming from Congress, is, come on, Republicans, let's all get on the train. If the Democrats can come together with a messaging that elects a guy who wishes the death on infants, do you mean to tell me we can't come up with common messaging that gets to the American people about what, the realities of what we've done, the positives, and when it will affect them in their homes? Like, we can and we should do better.
Absolutely. So, switching over here to South Carolina, what are you, one, I'd like to ask you a question about one of the opponents in the election for governor. Nancy Mace certainly has put herself out there with some real coming after public employees at the airport there. What are you thinking there? She's been called out by about, I think, 50 legislators and public officials. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, okay. So I think we just kind of talked about it, right? Like, shame on you. This is not the first time she's gone off on a foul-mouthed rampage. We've seen this time and time again. She has shown us, that is her go-to when she becomes stressed. And obviously, she doesn't realize how stressful running a state could be. And that may be something to anybody who is thinking of supporting her, to say, is this what you want, not just this country, but the world to see as our representative of South Carolina? Because let's face it, the governor is the executive of the state. The governor is your ambassador to all the states in this country and to the world, if you're talking South Carolina, because we have global businesses here. And is that what you want people to think represents you? And again, I think anybody, I have gone through, and I've said this multiple times over the last week, just a month ago, I flew out of Charleston's airport to D.C.
Right.
And the people were exactly where they were supposed to be. They were kind. It was efficient. I got through TSA, got to my gate, wished them all a great day, and was on my way. And it was flawless. And the fact that, she can't claim any responsibility. And, what I've heard was her late showing up and people not being there because she was late. Again,
and a different color vehicle.
Sad.
There's a lot to be put to the other side. I just was curious what you felt, because there has been such an outcry from Senator Tim Scott and many, many, many others. So I just wondered what you thought about it as that. So that's a couple of things. So what do you think? What do you think about earmarks? If you were the governor next year, or when you're elected governor next year, what are you going to look at? Do you think earmarks should be allowed or not be allowed? That is a question I've heard that they may be coming back in this next legislature. What is your opinion, Pam?
So, I'm an accountant by trade, and the governor and I have really aligned on the issue of transparency. Mm-hmm. So I believe if there is a project around the state that is too big for a county, a city, but has wide-reaching positive impact, and it gets brought by the delegation in that area to the General Assembly and gotten onto a budget line, if it is transparent, where whoever brought it and put it there can argue the basis of that with anybody and show why it's a necessity, I say fine. Let us look at it and see. Transparency, Ann, is key. I think people realize that there are some things that have to come from state government that is in the greater good, that does have a positive impact, that helps a lot of people. And as a taxpayer myself, I'm okay with some of that stuff.
Right.
It's the bridges to nowhere. It's the pet projects. It's the stuff that tries to get hidden is what people don't want to see happen. And I think it puts our legislators, whether it be Senate or House, it makes them accountable. Because when they put their name on it and they put it out there, when their constituents are angry about it, then they have to deal with the repercussions of that. And I think accountability is great. And it is kind of the factor that keeps everybody in check is accountability. And so, again, I think it's how it's done, not that it's done. And it's on a case-by-case basis. I don't think you can say all of them are bad. You definitely can't say all of them are good.
Okay. And what about, do these projects, would projects for nonprofits still be in the mix on this?
Well, and I think those are some of the projects that people, kind of think are the best projects, right? Because let's face it, Ann, our nonprofits fill the 2-foot gap that
Absolutely.
Government can't take care of.
Right.
And so we just talked about it, right? Filling our pantries, making sure that there are food there, that we're giving them assistance, that when people fall on tough times, they're there and able to help in a way that government can't. And those are the projects that I think people really feel are okay. That, again, like I said earlier, giving to the greater good, making an impact that's positive, reaching to more than just a few people, right? Reaching out to whole communities, whole regions. Those are good things. And, but I also tell our non-for-profits, I think the best way they have to get help, and I've heard other legislators say this too, is you have to collect data. You have to be able to demonstrate, what money you've received, what was the impact of that money, how many people did you help, and you just arm yourself that when you're coming to your General Assembly, your delegation, your area, that you're equipping them with the information to be able to lead the charge on help from the state. And so, that is always the one piece of advice. Maybe it's because I'm an accountant, Ann. The one piece of advice I give to all of our wonderful non-for-profits are make sure you're arming yourselves with data. Because at the end of the day, that's what we need to be able to justify those things to the taxpayers of South Carolina.
Absolutely. I got a kind of a fun question. Have y'all, you, Governor McMaster, etc., been thinking about the number of people who may be leaving New York and be trying to come to South Carolina? Have we thought about tariffs for them, or perhaps a golden ticket if they want to move here? Because, we've got to be proprietary about our state, Pam.
You mean we have to make them show their voting card, Ann? That's what you're really saying. Let's just cut to the chase. You want them to show their voting, you want them to show their voting scorecard. That's what you're looking for.
Well, that's one, but I also think if they're moving here, we ought to get some money out of the deal, because this place is getting crowded, Pam.
You are funny, Ann. You always bring the fun to the table. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, I think it's something we need to think about. Wasn't it Trump that said that certain states were closed for New Yorkers to move to?
Oh my goodness. I've heard people say that. Now, I don't know, but But I think if we go back to the fact that those people are seeking asylum, the people that are exiting those states are Republicans that feel that they don't have a voice anymore, right? So we're doing our civic duty, and by accepting him into the wonderfully red conservative state of South Carolina.
All right, okay. Well, I just was thinking maybe we could get some money out of this deal. I mean, if they really want to come here, they can get a golden ticket. Isn't that what Trump was talking about for people coming in to become citizens of the United States? Get a golden ticket. Oh,
yeah, I do remember that now that you said that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. All right. Anyways, now this is another one I know you're going to love. Nancy Pelosi is not seeking another term. She's done. Can you believe it?
Oh, yeah. I had seen that. Thank goodness. That's all I can say. Thank you, God, for answering all of our prayers that we are not going to hear that angry woman anymore. And I don't know about everybody else, but over the last few years, does she not get angrier and angrier? Like, she's shaking her finger.
Right.
She's swearing. She looks angry all the time. It's time for her to go home. Yeah. I mean, it's time for a lot of them to go home, but it is definitely time for her to go home.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And how do you feel about the filibuster? President Trump has called for the filibuster to be done away with in the Senate, but there's a lot of consequences to that. If you do that, what about if the Republicans are not in charge? What is your feeling about it?
That's the part that always scares me, is like we look at it for the positive effects it has today.
Right.
But let's look at 2027. If the Senate turns back into the hands of the Democrats, right, where will we be? So I always worry about those things too. And I've said that there are times that Republicans get really frustrated and they say, we should do this. And I always worry about the precedents that sets. So, I would like to see it done just to move this along and make Congress get back to work. I think if you wanted to motivate them, Bernie Moreno, the senator out of Ohio, suggested this weeks ago. And I think Senator Graham has now said it, is that Congress should not get paid.
I totally agree.
How is it that people of Congress who are keeping this going are getting paid when none of their staffers are?
Exactly.
I think they should have no pay, and since they put this into motion, they should not be reimbursed for those days. Now, their staffers, when the government opens up, will get they will get their back pay. I believe Congress shouldn't. Not one of them in Congress should get back pay. And maybe that would motivate them to get back to work and show them just a little bit about what their constituents are feeling if their constituents are hurting and have to make mortgage payments and send their kids to college and pay their car payment and their insurance and their taxes and all those things, that just because they decided to throw a temper tantrum didn't mean the world stopped moving, right? And people stopped expecting their money. So again, Democrats, get back to work and stop hurting people just to try to flex. I don't even say flex what muscle you have, is stop being a child and throwing a temper tantrum.
That's true. That's true. Well, listen, we are talking with our Lieutenant Governor from the great state of South Carolina, Pamela Evette, and I would like to give you a couple of minutes, Pam, to tell the folks whatever you'd like to before I let you go. What you got to say?
Well, for anybody who hasn't, go on to PamelaEvette.com and look where I am. Sign up to receive my weekly updates. Love to tell you about where I've been, who I've talked to, and what the people all around South Carolina are asking me. Would love to have you come out. I'm doing meet and greets and town halls. I speak at a lot of events. Would love for people to come out and ask me questions. I think you've known me for a long time now, Ann, and I've never turned down anybody's question. And I'm not afraid to say, you know what? I don't know, because nobody's ever asked me that before, but I'll get a response and get it back to you. So please go on to PamelaEvette.com, sign up, be a volunteer. Would love to have your help on this campaign. And, always happy for financial support, and all the things about that are on my website.
Absolutely. And I know you would like to say, in fact, when I get off the air with you in just a little bit, I'm going to a veterans luncheon. Actually, the featured speaker is going to be Representative Doug Gilliam, which is always a treat. And I thought you might like to say a few words to our veterans in honor of Veterans Day coming up.
Absolutely. To all of our veterans, thank you so much for your service. To our Vietnam veterans, welcome home. We wouldn't enjoy anything that we have in this country without your efforts and what you've sacrificed for all of us. And, I keep this little card that I had gotten at a restaurant. They were just like, kind of like poems or words of wisdom that people have written down over the years. And one was a soldier. And it talked about how it's not the press that gives freedom of speech. It's the soldier. And it's not the politician that, creates opportunity. It's a soldier. And it's not the protester who has given us the right to burn the flag, but the soldier for that flag that he fought for. And I read it, and it just stuck with me. And now I take it with me in every veteran or military event. I read it because it really does hit home. And so to all of our veterans, thank you so much for your service, your sacrifice, and thank you to your families for loving you enough to allow you to do that for the rest of us.
Absolutely. Well, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette, soon to be the governor for the great state of South Carolina, keep out there working and traveling the state and winning hearts and getting votes.
Thanks so much, Ann. You have a great. Oh, and I won't talk to everybody till after Thanksgiving. So, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I hope you get to spend quality time with family, breaking bread, and feeling thankful that, for one, we were born in the best country in the world, and two, for all the blessings God gives us every day.
And that we live in South Carolina.
Absolutely. That's a given.
Right. Just thought I'd mention that one. I think we need to be thankful for that a whole lot.
Absolutely. And take care. Happy Veterans Day to our veterans, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone. From my family to yours, I hope you have an amazing day.
You too. Thanks so much for calling in this morning, Lieutenant Governor. Have a great one.
Thanks. You too, Ann. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was our Lieutenant Governor for the great state of South Carolina. Yes, and I am now still with you right here on WCRS Radio. I am going to have to kind of cut this short because I do have the Veterans Day luncheon that I am going to, and as I said, Representative Doug Gilliam will be speaking at that, which is always a treasure to be able to hear him speak. He loves veterans and loves doing whatever he can, so I'm sure it'll be an engaging, and we're having a great barbecue luncheon on top of that. So if you have not signed up, I'm not sure that you can still get in. That does begin at 11:30. Excuse me. And the program begins at 12. But that is at Harris Baptist Church right here in Greenwood. Now, tomorrow morning, they're going to be serving breakfast at the hospice store over there, right behind the mall. They're going to be serving breakfast over there, so that's a good thing. The parade is coming up on Sunday for our veterans. Veterans Day, of course, is Tuesday. I don't know of a thing going on Veterans Day. Everybody's got all their stuff packing it in before, but anyways. There are a lot of things going on. I thought I might quickly go through and tell you about some of them. One of the things that is going on is, let's see, at Main Street United Methodist Church is having their autumn craft and food market. They do have some early bird tickets, I think, on Friday, but the main entry is on Saturday, November 8th. It's in the Fellowship Hall, 211 Main Street North, right here in Greenwood, 9 to 2. Entry, you can make a canned food donation, holiday gifts, handmade crafts, festive foods, and more. So that is going on this Saturday. I'm real interested in the Bountiful Bites Cafe. I may have to check that out. The Bountiful Bites Cafe. So check that out. That is going on this Saturday at Main Street United Methodist Church. If you need any more info, you can call them 864-229-7551. That's 864-229-7551. Just thought I would give you a little update on that one. That has come across. By the way, if you go on my Facebook page, mine, Ann Eller, I posted a video driving through the mountains as we're going cruising down the mountain on these hairpin curves. It's pretty fun. It's just, that's all it is. It's just driving through. So I just thought I would tell you about that one. You might want to check that one out. It'll give you the total effect. Being in the mountains, the trees, and beautiful color and all that good stuff. It's 3.5 minutes. Yep, there it is. I wrote be scared, very scared, but we made it through the mountains. It was pretty fun. All right, what else do we have going on here? We've got a lot going on, and this is what my job is to tell you about some of these things that are going on. And looks like I don't have much over here. So let's go over here to my other site and see what we have over here to talk about. We do have the Veterans Day Parade. That is on Sunday. Sunday. The rain date will be the following Sunday. Hopefully, though, the weather looks good. Parade at 2 p.m. Location, the parade will begin at South Main Street Baptist Church, proceed up Main Street, ending at the Hampton Shopping Center. So if you would like to come and cheer on, we need everybody out there cheering on. By the way, the Girl Scouts will be collecting hats and gloves for our veterans. So if you could bring some there, they would love to collect them from you right there during the parade. Also, coming up next Thursday, I believe it is. Thursday, yes, November 13th, the Greenwood County Veterans is having the free legal clinic. The Valor program is coming. It'll be for veterans and spouses. So if you would like to participate in that, if you've got a legal question, even if that's not something that they can totally do right there for you, they can help you with pointing you in the right direction to get their information. By the way, I do want to say this, the Ware Shoals $1 Million Band 2025 as South Carolina Band SCBDA State Championship, they got a bronze medal, and the post says on Facebook, history made. For the first time in over 3 decades, the Ware Shoals $1 Million Band didn't just make it to state finals, they medaled. After earning 3rd place at the Upper Championship Saturday morning, our Hornets took the field and the A1A State Championship and brought home a 3rd place bronze medal. This is an incredible achievement that reflects the caliber of our students, hard work, Ms. Hodges' leadership, and the unwavering support of our band families and community. So I wanted to mention that. That is super, super, super. So congratulations to them. Now, what else? Oh! This is a good one. This is not this week, but it is, I guess it's next week. We're teaming up Chick-fil-A is teaming up with Teddy Bear Mobile of the Lakelands to bring something moveless to Greenwood. On Saturday, November 15th, so that's a week from Saturday, $25 per cow at the Chick-fil-A on the bypass. Each guest will get to stuff their own 10-inch plus Chick-fil-A cow, complete with a wishing star insert, a custom Chick-fil-A t-shirt, a birth certificate, a backpack to take it all home in. After you build your new friends, stop by our craft station to create a name bracelet for your newest family member. It's going to be, utterly adorable, and we can't wait to see you there. So this is a build a cow. Instead of build a teddy bear, build a cow in partnership with the Teddy Bear Build-A-Bear program. So that will be coming up next Saturday. Also, we are looking for a hard freeze, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I think, here in Greenwood. Did want to mention that. You need to be prepared, and you need to be thinking about your pets, etc. It's going to be very cold comes Monday, Tuesday, I think, here in our area. Also, everybody is doing food drives. So everybody, when you see some deals on non-perishable goods, you should try to buy some extra and then distribute them. The library is having one. I believe the Y is having one. Rosemary over there at Greater Greenwood United Ministry every day from 9 to 11, I think that is correct for the timing, is giving away bags of food to those in need. People are really stepping up and trying to help. I still think we should be doing more from the statewide, and depending, I guess, how long this goes on, maybe they will decide to go ahead and do that. But there are food drives everywhere. Buy some extra if you can. Drop it off wherever you can. And let's see. It's time again this is from the RTC Culinary Arts Program. Pies and Sides fundraiser. One of my favorites. Yes, that's right. They've got pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, pecan pie, apple pie with crumb topping. Those are all being made by the students over there, and you can order them. Take and bake sides will also be available in a casserole pan and serve 10 to 15. Sweet potato casserole with the nut topping, macaroni and cheese. Order your Thanksgiving sides, and they have, I guess you have to go to a link. Pre-order due by Monday, 11/17, and then you pick it up Monday, 11/24. Prices do include a sales tax and a service charge if you pay with a credit card or Cash App payments. But if you want to make things easy, get some of these deals and help the students over there. Orders due by 11/17 at 11 a.m. and then pick up 11/24 after school, 3:30 to 5:30 at the G. Frank Russell Technology Center. So check that out. This is a super easy way to make life good and say, well, I made it myself, sort of. I always go to an event where I am part of a big group that helps, and I make pumpkin pies, sorta. And they're always delicious, and I'm never let down. So there you go. Anyways, I'm Ann Eller. Let's do a quick check of the weather. A quick check of the weather. And let's see what we've got going on here. We did get a couple of questions before I do the weather. Let's see what we got here this morning. Still opening for the Veterans Lunch today. All veterans are welcome. This came from one of our veterans. Yes, you can go to the luncheon. So if you want to get yourself dressed and ready to go, be over there. What time? 11 o'clock, the doors open. 11:30, they will start serving lunch, and the program begins at 12. So this is at Harris Baptist Church, so that is 300 Center Street at the big room that they have back there. They would love for you to come. They're going to be honoring all our veterans, and this is brought to you by Ashley House over there. Jan and their crew over there are excited to do this every year for our veterans. So if you can come, that would be great. Let's see, I got another message here. What's this one? Oh, that's right. I forgot. Thank you very much, Chris. The world premiere of Long Shadows is today at the theaters, at the movie theaters. That is right. That is, of course, Shelley Reed, Granger Hines. It is the first screenplay that Shelley has written that has been made into a nationwide release of a movie. This is huge. Now, that is sold out. I happen to know that is sold out, but that is excellent, and I don't know whether the movie will be continued to be showed here in Greenwood. It is on a national release and will be released across the country. Whether it stays here in Greenwood, whether they're able to get another showing of it, I'm not sure, but it is this evening. So if you see a lot of people at the movie theaters tonight, that's why. That is why. Anyways, that is probably should do it for me. I got to get over there to the Harris Baptist Church Center over there and be prepared to welcome a bunch of veterans that I'm looking forward to very much. So y'all have a good day. This afternoon I am going to be at Grace Street Park opening. Probably do a little pop-up live. So if you would follow me, you'd get notified that this is happening. And if you need to follow me on WCRS 98.5 FM /1450, but you can also just put WCRS radio and we will pop right up there. Sign up to follow and then sign up to get notifications, and you will find out when I'm going live, what I'm talking about. Anyways, have a great day. Thank you so much for listening this morning. Okay, I will end with this. This just came across. What's it say? Donald Trump. Oh my gosh, here we go. Where is it? Trump just said that, I don't see it exactly. I read it. Donald Trump just said that evil woman is a great thing. She's retiring. It's gonna be evil, folks. That's all I can say. You know, Nancy Pelosi has been there way too long, in my opinion. Yes, she was a great leader, but people need to realize when it's time to go. And I guess she finally has decided it's time to go. So thank you for your service, Nancy. Now go and enjoy all the money you've made and enjoy what's left of your life. Hey, that's it for me. I am Ann Eller. We are going to put the curtain down, and then we're going to cue the music, and then I'm going to say, I do, everybody. I do.